Hi, welcome to Kosha Yoga. This is the first in the series that will be ongoing through the autumn. Well, we will look at our holistic being. I like to spell holistic with a W, W-H-O-L-I-S-T-I-C. Sometimes spell checker doesn't really like that spelling, but it is defined as this union of body, mind, spirit, breath. Now, since I'm out on the dock and the sun is in my eyes, I'm going to put my sunglasses on. Sorry for that, that barrier between me looking you directly in the eyes, but if I don't wear them, I'm probably going to squint through our whole practice. So let me just, oh yeah, that's so much better, add that on. So our holistic being is this combination of the layers of self. And so kosha means simply sheath or layer. And over the next few weeks, we will be discussing and taking practices to help us build a greater awareness of all the sheaths of this holistic being we call me or self. In each of the koshas, you'll also see the word Maya, M-A-Y-A. So the first one would be Annamaya Kosha. And Maya means relative, right? It's in comparison to, it's not static or unchanging. It has this relative fluidity to it. So we have the sheaths of our being and how they're relative and integrate with all of the other sheaths. So for the purposes of this series, we're going to look at 5 different koshas. And the first one, which is today's practice, is Annamaya Kosha. So we're going to have, as we go by, the physical body, this tangible collection of matter and atoms and systems of function within our body. But we'll also look at the breath, the mind, the intuition and the wisdom, and the bliss, this place of pure happiness and existence. So let's talk about Annamaya Kosha. What would fall into that, and how would we focus our practice? So the Annamaya Kosha is everything that you would define as me. So we'll think of the skin as the barrier between the inside me and all the rest of nature, of which I am just a tiny little small part of. And within that Annamaya Kosha, we're going to call this our food body. We have the place of nourishment and nurturing. So the Annamaya Kosha is the food that we eat. It's the systems of the body, our cardiac system and how the blood shows up in our body. The lymphatic system, our digestion, right? The integumentary, the skin of the body, the fascial system. These are all tangible, touchable parts of who we are. We can think about taking care of Annamaya Kosha by looking at whether we get enough sleep or enough rest. Whether the foods that we take into our body are nourishing, or maybe they're just ice cream and just really, really sweet and satisfying. Either way, they still go through this physical me. So for our practice today, let's just find a comfortable seat and begin to allow our attention to be directed towards our physical body. Now you can keep your eyes open and really just allow for a soft gaze at the little ripples in the water or the green on the opposite shore bank, or anything else, maybe birds or wildlife that might come across the screen. So feel free to let your eyes stay open if you would like, because our senses, the sense of sight, is also a part of this Annamaya Kosha. You're also using your sense of hearing as you listen to my words. So there's so many different aspects that we're going to integrate into our practice to explore the physical me. So with the eyes open or the eyes closed, your choice, we come to our seat. And we have lots of different concentration practices. We often use the breath, but we're going to save that for when we get to the pranamaya kosha. For today, our focus or our concentration is going to be all the parts of our body, our seat, that connect with the hard surface beneath us, that connect with the earth element, that connect with the wood of the dock, the carpet of your room. We allow our attention to notice the sensation of touch. Where is the body touching another surface? And how does that feel? So as you direct your attention to the places of the body that are in connection with a hard surface or a softer surface beneath you, begin to notice its qualities. Is that surface firm, or does it have a softness or a cushion to it? Connect with its sense of support or groundedness. So this touching of the hard surface beneath us, rooting us into our practice, rooting us to this present moment. So at any time as we're going through this exploration, that maybe you feel that you're wandering off, just escort your attention back to the parts of the body that are connected to and touching a hard surface. Staying with the sense of touch in this Annamaya Kosha. Become aware of your skin. So the skin is one of the largest systems in our body. It's a tangible barrier that defines the me I see. So notice the temperature that touches your skin. Just allow all of your awareness to notice. Maybe the temperature is different in various parts of your body. I have the sun touching the left cheek and actually coming right down from the left side and touching the inside of my right thigh. So I feel its warmth. Notice how the temperature in your space communicates with your skin. Maybe at the same time you notice the sensation of your clothes touching your skin. Maybe we'll allow our hands, our fingers that have the highest volume of touch sensors to become involved in this exploration of Annamaya Kosha. Taking the right hand and placing it over your heart space. So initially I feel the skin and the skin. Actually, part of my hand is resting on my shirt, so part of it is touching my skin. Part of it, there's an interruption of that touch as it's placed on top of my clothing. Maybe the left hand I'll allow to rest on my abdomen. What's the temperature under each hand? What other qualities of touch do you notice? Maybe the different texture in the places that are touching clothing versus the place that's touching self or your skin. So as we explore Annamaya Kosha, this body sheath, the food sheath, the sheath made up of matter and atoms and cells. Maybe the hands are noticing the rise and fall of the chest and the abdomen. With each inhalation and exhalation. As the breath flows in and the breath flows out. Are you able to feel your heartbeat? So we connect with the systems of the body that lay deep to the skin. We have this layer of skin, maybe a layer of fat or adipose tissue. We've got the connective tissue system, our fascia. Maybe your hands feel the softness of skin and muscle and tissue, or the firmness of the bones and the skeleton that sit deep to it. And if you choose, you can leave your hands there, or maybe you'll release them and take Hakini Mudra, where each of these fingertips touch their partner and rest in your lap, in front of your torso, whatever feels comfortable for you, whatever hand position or hand placement feels good. And this is another way to explore touch, each of our fingers connected to their partner. Part of the physical body is our ability to see, our eyes, constantly taking in data and information, finding all these beautiful things here out in nature, all the comforting things right there in your home, wherever you're practicing, in your space. Or maybe the images in your curious imagination. Whatever the images are, the eyes, our sight, is constantly feeding our physical body different things. And there's so many things to notice that it's impossible for us to take all of them in. So we find this discernment. What did my eyes decide to rest on? What captured their attention? What am I looking at? Of the many things that are opportunities for me to explore, which one? Which group? And we can move on to our sense of sound, the ears, very tangible part of our body, things we probably don't think about all that often, unless we're picking out our earrings or trying to hold on my glasses. But then we notice the sounds that surround us. I'm not sure what you can hear from my space, besides my voice. But what do you notice in yours? Maybe there's music close in your space where you're practicing, or far away at some further distance. Maybe you decided to practice outside today and you can hear the birds or the traffic, somebody mowing their lawn. So what sounds do you notice? What information is coming through this sense? Always coming back to this sensation of being grounded, all the parts of the body that touch the hard surface beneath you. Then perhaps noticing flavor, taste, and all of the different tastes that we have, either physically, the food that we love, what's your favorite food, and can you bring that taste into your awareness? The temperature of the food we put into our mouth, or the drink we choose to drink. Maybe we expand on that idea of taste and allow it to grow into the concept of flavor. What's the flavor of this practice? We use terms of taste to describe events or our interactions or experiences. Like, that was a sweet party. Or it left a bitter taste in my mouth. So what's the flavor? The flavor of your day, the flavor of your practice. And so we become aware of the Annamaya Kosha and how it interacts with the nature that surrounds us. So I encourage you to take time, with or without this video, to just come out and sit in nature, in your own backyard, down at the beach, your favorite park, whatever place you love to be. You've been with me long enough to know that water is my favorite place and that it's rare for me to um, share a practice that doesn't take place outside. I can't wait till winter comes and we'll see what happens there with the physical body, trying to practice with a whole bunch of clothes and being in the winter weather. But I encourage you to come outside. And as you sit in your favorite place, surrounded by nature, and this Annamaya Kosha, this boundary that separates me from everything that's outside me. And as you hear the birds sing and feel the sun and the air touch your face, notice the scent of the water and the wildlife and the greenery that surrounds you. And as you do, allow the recognition that we are just this tiny, tiny little part of all of this. So even though Annamaya Kosha, my physical sheath of matter, defines the separation of me and the dock, or me and the space and the air that I am resting in, I also know that as far as nature goes, I'm just one little part of this universe. And within this Annamaya Kosha is an entire universe of its own, with all of the systems and processes that allow this being to navigate through life, that allows this being to exist. So with the eyes open or closed, notice self. Become aware of the being you call me. And I'll invite you to bring your hands in front of your heart. Allow your head to gently bow. And at this moment, choose an intention, right? Something you want to manifest, something that is relatable to your Annamaya Kosha. Maybe it's a food you want to have more of. More or less sleep. Whatever it is, pick your intention. And with this intention set, let us give it flight and add it to the moving elements that surround us. The gentle breeze in the air, the current of the water. And we'll place all of our intentions out onto the vibration of Om, allowing the body to expand with your inhale and Om it out. Releasing the hands from the heart. We'll notice another part about Annamaya Kosha, and that is, what do your feet feel like when you release them from whatever this long meditation pose was? So notice, I'm noticing a bunch of tingling in my toes, in my feet. They decided to take a little nap while I was sitting. And my clock is my on my computer, which I can see, and it has words going across. And as I extended my legs, my eyes saw the word transcend flash across the screen that has my clock on it. So maybe that's what this practice is about, transcending whatever we used to know into this new experience. So I'm still just waiting for those feet to to wake up. They actually want to make me laugh because they're tickling so much. So whatever's going on, I am going to try and move my feet in a little bit of a circle and shake them out. I want to come to standing, but I know if I try and stand on this dock right now, it won't be very eloquent. Um, so we'll just wait for the feet to wake up. And then, yes, I don't know even if they are, but we're going to bring both feet off to one side. Let's really begin to stay connected to the sensations of the body. So as we bring those feet off to one side, I'm going to move my props. Maybe I'll get some chance to get into this kayak before I clean up my stuff. And as we do, let's take those hands and spread them wide. Take those fingers and spread them wide. Really notice if the elbow creases can turn in so they look at each other. With the fingers spread, we want to feel that forefinger and the thumb really pressing into the earth. And then allow all of the rest of the fingers to follow suit, noticing the sensation of touch. As the hands now become connected with that hard surface beneath you, the knees, the front of the legs, the tops of your feet. We'll just warm up the spine before we come to standing. The eyes are looking directly down in front of you, shoulders and arms, wrists in alignment. Take an inhale. And as you exhale, drop the tailbone and push the whole body up to the sky. The crown descends towards the earth, cat stretch with your exhale. Taking an inhale, we allow the front of the body to drop towards the earth, the low back to round, the shoulder blades to come close to the spine and down towards the tail, the eyes to look out in front of you. Let your own breath do this 2 more times. Exhaling into cat. Inhaling into dog tilt. Exhale at your own pace. Inhale. Open the front body. Exhale. Just come right back down into child's pose, just to continue to open up that back body. Reach out with those fingers. Maybe let the forearms come down to the earth. Maybe the head will touch the earth as well. If not, wherever it rests is perfect. The seat, if possible, is going to connect with the feet. If not, you can add a little block or bolster there. And just simply feel what it feels like in this pose of the child. As the head, the forehead, our third eye, our wisdom, connect to the heart's surface beneath us. So this is a playful child's pose, but also contains a certain amount of reverence as we bow to the earth. Inhaling back to tabletop, curl those toes under. We're going to come out of this through squat. So pushing back, maybe coming up onto the toes if that feels okay for you. Right? The fingertips, another point of contact. What do we notice as we change position? What do the eyes rest on? The sun comes out and touches my face. Begin to notice. And then take an inhale. And as you exhale, the hands are supporting you. we're just going to straighten those legs. Maybe they'll stay bent so that the torso stays in connection with the upper thighs, the spine well protected from being overarched, eyes looking down at the ground. And we find this gentle, supported forward fold. Take an inhale. And with the exhale, gently notice if the knees can straighten just a little bit more. So maybe we allow ourselves to find some length in the legs. And then inhale halfway up, the back is flat, parallel to the earth. Hands are resting on the knees, feet are connected to that hard surface. We still come back to allowing the body, the mind's concentration, our concentration to rest in the parts of the body that are connected, supported by the hard element beneath it. Exhale, flow down. We're going to gather up all the energy and come to full upright, inhaling, gathering up all the energy as the arms come out around us, and allow them, if possible, to make their transition so the fingers all touch above the crown of the head. So now my feet are connected to the hard surface beneath me, grounded. And my hands are reaching to the sky, enlightened. So I become the conduit between the two, between this grounded sensation of me and opening to the possibility of feeling completely united and integrated with the nature that surrounds me. Bring those hands in front of the heart and allow them to come down to the side as we find our mountain pose. So the big toe mound, the little toe mound, the heel of the feet all touch the earth. The knees are soft and buoyant, not locked back, so we give them a little bit of a bounce. We continue to build this upward flowing energy through the front of the body with an exhale, lifting in at that core and gathering up all those core muscles, lifting the pubic bone, allowing us to have this long, upright spine, the chin parallel to the floor, eyes looking forward. In mountain pose, the shoulder blades come closer to the spine and down to the earth. Arms are out to the side, fingers spread open, palms to the front. So we find this stability, this strength of a mountain, this mountain pose. And if you've ever gazed out at the mountains from a distance, they are strong, solid, unmoving granite. So we notice this strength that we have, this fierceness. But if you've hiked in those mountains, then you notice there's a lot of movement that happens as you get closer and closer. Taking that left hand and letting it come close to the left side of the body, right hand is still out. Inhale and gather up all of that right side energy, the shoulder blade and shoulder descending as the fingers again are reaching for the sky. Take an inhale. Oh, enjoy that exhale. With the next inhale, reach over to your left side, trying to keep this right shoulder blade retracted so that we don't come into a twist, but allow all of this engagement in Annamaya to be focused on this arching right side and the compression of the left side. Take your time. Notice your breath. Stay connected to it. Turn that right hand to the sky. Take an inhale. And let the exhale guide you all the way back to the center point. And As the right hand finds the right leg, left hand turns out again as we inhale and gather up all of the left-sided energy. This is all our femininity, our intuition, the feminine goddess. The right side was all of our male energies. So here we find this softness in the left side. Maybe even find a mudra, another sense of touch, where the thumb and the first finger touch, the rest open. Take an inhale. And with that exhale, reach to that right side. And so we begin to deepen our awareness, staying in connection with our senses. What do we hear? In addition to the feet touching the hard surface beneath us, what else do you feel in your space? Are your eyes having a soft gaze? What's your flavor? The scent? Take an inhale. As you exhale, turn that left hand down and let it lead you back to center. Good. Side body. We're going to make this transition and come to the front back body, taking both hands at the side. And inhale, start that extension. Bring those arms all the way out behind you, opening up that heart space. Exhale. And next inhale is going to bring us through this graceful arc of movement as the arms and the shoulders reach for the sky, fingertips gathering up all that energy. And it doesn't matter where your graceful arc of movement ends. It should end in a place of calm and comfort and peace and joy of this beautiful pose. So if one of those shoulders and or both are tender, let your arc of movement be different. Maybe it's different on each side. So we're looking to honor the body's grace and glory. Take an inhale. And as you exhale, hinging at those hips, we're going to hinge forward. Maybe starting at a flat back, letting those knees continue to be soft and buoyant as we allow the arms to come down, maybe even bending those knees so the fingertips now have a connection to the earth beneath you. So as the fingers touch the ground around you, your mat, your carpet, your floor, whatever that may be, what's the texture? What's the feel? Inhale halfway up. Feel your body. Notice what it feels like to move from one shape to the next. Not whether it's done right, but what does it feel to be in this shape? Exhale, flow down. Bringing those arms out front. Inhale and rise up. We come through this front plane of movement in our graceful movement. Exhale as the hands are extended to the sky. We're coming into a gentle back bend. If that's in your practice, take an inhale. And as you exhale, let those hands continue to reach behind you. So think about reaching with the hands, opening up the front body versus collapsing the back body. Ah, the clouds are beautiful today. Look at all those shapes. And then inhale and let it bring you back to your center position. Exhale, hands come to the heart. And we'll have one more group of graceful standing movements, and those are going to be twists. So for this, we want to see if we can keep the front of the body facing forward. So the toes are going to face forward, the hips are going to face forward, but we're going to twist and look behind us. So take an inhale and an exhale to prepare. Bring those arms out to the side again. Inhale and just bring them up to shoulder height if that feels right. You can always let one arm down. If any shoulder tenderness happens, just change your position. Anything that doesn't work is just asking you to change your position. Take an inhale And as you exhale, keeping those shoulder blades migrating towards the spine, let's see if we can just see how far we can go. Maybe let that front arm come around and rest, increasing that twist just a little bit. And what do you see? I've been greeted with a beautiful green mountain back there and the bird that's having its dinner. Take an inhale, allow yourself to come back to that center, bring those arms down, shake them out. We're going to see a boat on the other side, I think. Inhale and bring those arms up and twist. So how far can you go and what do you notice? The sky is filled with birds. The clouds are amazing, gray and white and fluffy. And as I inhale and come back, there's a big gopher over there having its whatever meal of the day it is for gophers at this time. So then shake out those arms, little twists to the spine. Working on our strength. And again, these graceful movements in this physical body. We're going to come into this crisscrossed position. We're coming down to our mats. Maybe not using your hands, so I'll show that first. Take an inhale and just let your body begin to come down to the earth, right? So we can just come down and as gently as possible, touch down. If that's not accessible in your practice today, there's other ways to get down without using our hands. Annamaya Kosha, this physical sheath, has lots of options in it. So we could take our legs and bring right leg down, left leg down, and then sit. Or even place your hand on something that's close if this is the first time that you're working on getting up and down without using your hands. So as you come back to whatever that comfortable seat is, feel the earth beneath you. After this gentle practice, what is Annamaya communicating with you? So we'll take our left leg and fold it under if possible. We're going to take the right leg and fold it on top. So this isn't always accessible to everybody. So options, that left leg can stay outstretched. And maybe this is your pose for shoelace today. Or whatever props you've decided to have close to you. Sometimes if you just sit up a little bit on pillows or eggs or props, whatever you have, then that's an option. Sometimes if we raise our seat, the pose becomes different and accessible. So we're looking at shoelace pose. We're going to hold on to those toes, or if one leg is outstretched, the left bottom leg is outstretched. That's another option. And as we look at shoelace pose, we feel what it feels like to bind up the body, right? We're closing it in. We're going to bring the arms out to shoulder height one more time. Take an inhale. And as you exhale, now the left arm is going under the right, and we're going to come to eagle arms. So we're binding the lower body and the upper body. Maybe the twist is not in your practice. Maybe it is, where you're working hand to hand. Maybe you have back of the hand to back of the hand. Here's another option for the arm placement. So choose one that works for you. And then as you rest here in this shoelace pose and these eagle arms, notice what the body feels like when you entangle it. And can you find this entanglement, this wrapping of the limbs, and then find ease in the pose as well. So this opposing set of energies, I'm going to bind up and I'm going to be relaxed. So let the breath continue to flow nicely. Find that place of ease. And then inhale and open up those arms. Bring them out to the side. Exhale, let them come down. Help that right leg off of the top. Help the left leg out. The right leg is going to be the bottom leg this time. Left leg is going to be on top. And of course, there's always the option for half shoelace pose. Even if that isn't completely where you want it to be, you can always take a prop of some sort and place it right under that knee to even give you more space and options and availability of finding something that's close to this shape. So we'll do that. We'll inhale those arms out to the side. Right one's going to be on the bottom this time. Right arm comes under left. And we find our eagle arms. We bind those arms together. So we find our bind. We become aware of the sensations in Annamaya Kosha. What is the body communicating with us? Can we balance this bind and complement it with ease? And then we'll take a nice big inhale, bring those arms out to the side. And while they're here, we'll just open them all up. Take an inhale. Exhale, give yourself a nice big hug for being in your practice. Just being grateful, reminding ourselves that self-love is so, so important. Self-care is so important. So release the arms, release the legs, maybe you help them. And we'll make this transition into your Shavasana. So as we do, set up whatever feels beautifully cocooned for you. Maybe you come right to just right into a reclined position. Flat on your back, arms at the side. But if you think it would feel more comfortable to put a little pillow under your head or a rolled up blanket under the knees, knowing that after your practice your body cools down some, maybe you would like a blanket placed on top of you now that we're coming into these nice, beautiful, cooler days. And as you do, notice all the parts of the body that are connected to that hard surface beneath you. We stay connected to our concentration. I am grounded. I am nurtured, nourished, and secure. I am fully supported. And allow yourself to drift into a place of calm, peaceful quiet. And I will call you back shortly. Feel your body and begin to notice that concentration. Notice all the parts of the body that are connected to the support of the surface beneath you, the back of the head, the shoulder blades, maybe the bum, the calves, the heels, all of these places. Notice the level of support that this hard surface has to offer, that Annamaya is cradled in the support of the hard surface or the earth beneath us. No matter what we're laying on, it's the earth. Begin to deepen your breath and allow your awareness to deepen along with it. Come back to your senses, all of those parts of Annamaya. Begin to notice the sounds in your space. Maybe any scent that's in the air, or what flavor you are connected with at this moment. What's the flavor now? And as you open your eyes and prepare for your transition back to your seat of meditation, what's the first thing you see? What do your eyes notice? Gently making your way back to that seat of meditation. Come on back. And as we all meet back here, let's take a body scan, right? Let's look through Annamaya Kosha before we close our practice. Notice any communication that the physical body is offering. It could be, I'm thirsty, I'm hungry, I feel so relaxed, my body feels fabulous. Whatever. Just connect to the physicality of your being. And as both hands come in front of the heart and each finger meets its partner, the palm of the hand touching. Allow the intention, the thing that you want to manifest, to come back into your awareness. Rich with detail. We'll close our practice the way we began, by chanting the sound of Om together and allowing it to create the vibration that manifests our intentions. Allow the breath to flow in. May all thoughts be divinely inspired. May all words be authentic and true. May all hearts be touched with love and joy. And may the time that we devote to our practice of compassion bring peace to all beings. Om Shanti. Namaste. So in this practice, we worked with the Annamaya Kosha, the most tangible, the physical body, our food body. And as we continue to explore through this series, the places that we'll go will become more and more subtle. So the physical body is easy for us to connect with. We can feel it, we can see it, we can touch it. We can create this delineation between me and you, between me and the doc. But in our next practice, we'll come into the Annamaya Kosha, the energy that flows through the body. Specifically the breath, but not limited to the breath. We'll expand that view of prana from just being our breath practices, or from being, not just, but from being breath practices, into something much larger, like how the blood flows through our body, or nutrition, or lymphatic fluid that keeps us protected, um, our lymph and how it flows, how the air flows in and the air flows out, how we become oxygenated. All these fabulous things about how energy flows to our body, what zaps our energy and what enhances it and builds energy. How do we conserve it and how do we invest it wisely? So thanks for spending this time with me, and I look forward to seeing you on your mat. Have a great day.